We got Airwolf
We
above
got
us.
Airwolf outside.
Y'all.
Key change. That's all I'm going to go. What?
How do you still remember that?
I don't know.
As
Jan Michael Vincent.
As a little gay boy, how do you remember that?
You know, strangely, the memories from little gay boy stay longer than almost anything else.
Ready, Stace?
Ready, Darce?
Here we go.
It's our big hit.
Wins.
Sisters, sisters, there were never such devoted sisters.
Stacey is the one who's always got my back.
Yeah, Darcy's love life, that's a lot to unpack.
True.
Caring, sharing, every little thing that we are wearing.
House of 11, we've had lots of guy trouble, that's well known.
I've got a fiancé and she's alone.
Wow.
All kinds of weather, we stick together, the same in the rain or sun. We've got tight faces, but in tight places, we think and we act as one. Take it, Darce.
Manifest our twin power.
Scooter bapa dee bahada
Ba-da-ba-da, do the twins. Up-ba-da-ba. Ha-da-ga. Ooh, my boobs shake when I do that. Ooh. Ooh-ah.
Like I can remember every word of the Family Matters theme that we established.
It's true. Someone said that needs to be our sign-off song always.
I would die. There's something about putting on at that point, and the fact that you told that story about that woman who was obsessed with being a Winslow.
Y'all, we did our Patreon prop, like our sissy shout-out, and the patron's last name was Winslow.
But there was something, too, about the fact that the person singing that theme song thought they were, like, recording some, like, R&B hit. And it was so serious. Like, it's a rare condition.
What's the same
it's day
guy?
and age.
I would love to hear an interview with him, because he did Full
He's
House.
dead now.
Southern Story.
But for some reason, he did do Full House. But he's
recording? Okay.
He's singing it like it's the fucking national anthem.
It reminds me of the guy that used to sing the Dr. Pepper jingle. He really got into it. Was that Kenny Loggins who wrote that? I think it was.
Sing it.
I'm a pepper, you're a pepper.
I
Wouldn't
don't know.
you like to be?
Oh, no.
Hey, Siri, who wrote I'm a Pepper?
Oh, no.
Sukumar Ray wrote paper.
Yo, this is Darcey and Stacey. Sukumare wrote paper.
My Siri thinks I'm a lot smarter than I actually am.
Sukumare wrote paper.
Y'all, Darcey and Stacey, welcome. This is episode 3, season 1.
Meltdown in Middletown.
Meltdown in Middletown.
You like this show more than me.
I do.
I
Andrea just sent us a message on Facebook. She loves it too.
I don't hate it. I wish it did not lampoon these two women the way it's doing. I don't think they have any idea. Actually, I think they do. But I don't think they have any idea what clowns they look like.
Well, and I think normally you're all for that. This episode did not have a lot of. You love more than anything classic Darcey and Stacey together.
I like
and there
them
wasn't
cutting
a lot,
them down.
There
yeah.
wasn't a lot of that.
But I just think like Darcey.
I like seeing them out of Darcey and Stacey because I'm also fascinated by. I think it's just, what is it? It's like that. Remember when they made that like movie review show? And who are the hosts? They host the podcast Dumb Gay Politics.
I don't know
what. Oh, it's Brandy and anyway, Dumb Gay Politics. It is a funny podcast. But anyway, we were talking about. They were showing the picture of the Beyonce when she was pregnant with twins, and she said, "Twins are weird. Think about it." And it's like, twins are identical twins. It's weird. It's a weird thing.
They are weird.
Think about it. So it's interesting to me.
It's a weird relationship.
Yes, it's interesting to me when they have to do stuff that's not. I like the kind of it fucks with them when they're not doing the same thing.
I
like that.
I think they are each they're each individual people.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something about watching. There's something really gross and voyeuristic about having to watch Stacey and Florian try to communicate.
I love it.
I still feel like Florian is like has some type of like it's a weird behavior. Maybe he's nervous about being on camera. Maybe it's a language issue.
I mean, I already had. He definitely has. At first, I was like, because there's like a flat affect.
There
but
is.
Then it's
Very
almost
flat.
like a. There's also a blunted affect, which is even kind of more. I don't.
And then he freaks out and loses
Usually,
his temper.
people that have flat affect, you know, when I say flat affect, that's like a clinical. But basically, to like the producer said, "Are you excited right now?" And he's like, "Yes, I am excited," or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
Don't ever do Florian. We've
it's
talked about
basically
this.
no emotion, and you can't tell on his face how he is feeling. Before, I would have said, well, maybe it's a cultural thing, but then seeing how angry he got about the car thing,
Yeah, that was
I'm
kind of
like-
scary.
I don't know a lot about where he's from. I don't know about his culture. I'm like, does he have PTSD? Does he have, like, something?
Albania's pretty safe these days.
Yeah, something's
Yeah.
going on, though. Like, I honestly, I wrote this down.
We're gonna puke.
I hiccuped.
You-
I feel less safe about Stacey being with Florian than I
Agreed.
feel about Darcey being with Jesse.
Whoa.
Yes, my inner oh no run meters were going off.
Interesting.
On Florian this episode.
I kind of see where you're going, but Jesse, you're thinking her physical safety.
Yeah.
For me, it would be Jesse's fucking with Darcey's mental state.
Yes, I don't think
Her physical
Florian
safety, yes.
has the emotional intelligence that Jesse did. Not that Jesse had a lot
Agree.
to manipulate.
Yeah.
So yeah, I worry about her physical safety.
Okay, I could see that.
Just saying.
I
Darcey,
don't-
Stacey, if you're listening,
I
Stacey,
think-
I hope I'm wrong.
I think she would punch the fuck out of him.
I think I would. Yes, I think she probably would. However, I don't know if she, like we've talked about, it's weird. Seeing it's what's fascinating to me is we think of Stacey as the strong, like badass bitch, whatever, of Darcey and Stacey.
But when she gets with
But when
Florian,
she's with
I
Florian,
agree.
she becomes. I said
Very
last week, she
submissive.
becomes more of a Darcey, and
Yeah.
I see the submission and apologizing for him and accommodation.
She does feel
and
a
it's
little
worrisome.
She
to me.
does feel a little bit like battered wife sometimes.
I need Darcey to come and rip up that fucking note and save her. That's what I'm already saying. I want at the end of the season, I want Stacey to be crushed by Florian and Darcey to come in and fucking stand her ground, and I'm going to stand up and cheer.
I don't know if that'll happen because I think they're still together. But
Fine.
sorry, I don't know.
Sorry.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Sorry.
Let's jump into this.
They're not. Boy, Airwolf's just hovering out there. Just hovering out. I don't know if y'all can hear.
I don't remember what a single episode of Airwolf was like.
I've never seen it. It came out before I was born.
No, it didn't. We're 18 months apart. You were just probably watching a Haley Mills movie at the time, or putting makeup on or trying on your mother's Liz Claiborne heels.
It's true. Or maybe some young Jodie Foster's. Y'all, Candle Shoe's on Disney Plus. Get into it.
I've never seen it.
Candle Shoe is good.
You've seen so many more Disney movies than I have.
I was
I
a
feel
Disney
like.
kid.
Yeah,
I
didn't
collected them.
I didn't have the Disney. Of course you
I
did.
had all the white little kids.
I didn't have the Disney Channel as a child. We didn't have cable. We were too far out.
America's Family Network, the Disney Channel.
Boy, things have changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time watching shows in syndication, like Airwolf, that would come on Saturday afternoons when the cartoons were done. And my mom would go, G-Bird, go outside. And I would go, can I just watch Airwolf? Fine.
Jaybird, go out and play with all the other boys. I don't want to, Mama. Can I write this overture instead?
I'd rather watch Mama's Family than Airwolf.
Oh, Mom. I did love Mama's Family.
No, it would be the A-Team, then Airwolf.
I did
That
enjoy
was-
A-Team.
I swear to God, they were contemporary.
It came after
You just-
Airwolf. Yeah, after I was
you,
born.
You just either it was a different time or you didn't connect with it the way I did.
No, that's probably fair.
Also, Magna PI. These were all contemporary shows.
Ding, 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 ding. Isn't that Magnum Pie? Bum, bum, bum.
Ding, 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 bom, bom, bom.
Yeah, my mom watched that. I remember that. I would watch it with her.
Exactly.
I think it would come on the same night as Murder, She Wrote.
I
Did your mother watch Murder, She Wrote?
no.
No.
That was too old. My grandmother watched it, but I never watched it with her.
I think I got this weird, like, nostalgic thing from my mother. She liked older things, and therefore, this is boring to
Who
y'all.
gives a fuck? That's the first time you've ever realized that what we were talking about.
myself.
Usually it's me who goes, wait, we're off the rails. You had to do it.
Y'all, we just recorded on Lalu, and it was like an hour and a half episode because Poodle didn't take his CBD in the first episode, and he was like a gay, horny cat, just like,
No, I let you do whatever you wanted, and I went with it.
you were off on subjects.
Normally, I'm keeping you on task.
Let's begin. Darcy's crying.
Shocking.
Shocking.
So she's sitting there in the bed. She's throwing off her earrings. She's like, felt a lot of hurt, a lot of pain.
Last night was a trigger.
She did. Y'all, her vocabulary could fit in one hand. That I have, like her way she expresses herself. Not that she's stupid.
She's not dumb, but she doesn't have a large vocabulary.
She expresses herself in Instagram.
She does.
Words. Triggered, gave him my heart.
She does.
Hurt. Not being painful. Eyes on the prize. All of these.
And I think, you said it feels voyeuristic. That is why I like the show, but again,
that's why I don't like it.
It's like we like voyeur stuff. We do. We like seeing the inside of how things work. And
I do too, but not to a point that I feel is exploitive. I don't feel like
it's exploited because I know that Darcey and Stacey are in control of the show. They're too far. I think that they're not like. I think maybe
they
I would
are,
feel
but they're not.
If it was in the earlier days of 90 Day Fiancé. But I think I trust Darcey knows what she's doing as far as reality TV.
Are they producers?
I don't know. Darcey and Stacey, if you're not producers on this, you better fucking fight for
I
that
don't
for
think
season
they are.
2.
I don't
you
think
need
they
to
are.
get that from Matt Sharp.
That's why, to me, it feels like they're being produced to tell stories in a way.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I like this beginning. I mean, Darcey kind of went... I like that she kind of went there. It was really, normally we would make fun of Darcey crying because that's what we do.
Well, these are real tears. She's having real tears.
This was some real shit, and it was raw, and not the way was a raw dog, but it was
in my vulva.
Oh, my vulva. But it was still...
Y'all, that bitch is still doing fucking TikToks.
Oh,
She'll do anything to stay relevant. The BGL.
gross.
That's like the sequel to the BFG, the Big Fucking Giant, or the Big. It's not Big Friendly Giant, I think.
Oh yes, Big Friendly Giant.
Yeah.
Yes.
the BGL.
PGL.
It's like, I'm going to raw dog you. That was the tagline.
Wow. So Darcey says that she hasn't been to. She's been. That was pretty funny when she said, "I've been to therapy." She has been to therapy
she
before.
Went to one session.
Her dad told her to go after Jesse. And
she only did a few sessions.
She did a few sessions because she thought she could stay. And this is what I liked what she said. She's like, I thought I could stay in my own power. And I love that she said this and that. And I actually think some women especially will relate to it is that, again, this whole idea, and I'm just going to say it again. We've said it all the time, but maybe this is the first time you hear it. Getting support and going to therapy does not make you not strong. In fact, it makes you stronger because you know what you need to support yourself. And a lot of people don't do that.
And at the same time, you guys, it's not an antibiotic. It's not going to. You're not going to take this and immediately get better. And it's not going to,
The fact that, and we learned this later, but y'all, the fact that Darcey and Stacey had an older brother who was like their father figure who died of cancer and they never went to therapy for that.
We're going to talk about her actual therapy session that happens, you guys.
But y'all, I'm just saying, if you have someone in your life, especially sadly with what's happening, there's a lot of kind of sudden deaths now with Corona. Talk to a grief therapist
that you've
about
never
that
processed.
because that is really, or even if it happened 20 years ago, if it still feels like a day,
because
since it happened,
one thing, guys, a therapist is someone you pay to help understand how you're feeling.
yes, and
It's not someone who, they don't have any skin in the game. So they're not trying to, even your friends who are there to listen are going to view things in a biased sense. A therapist is not going to.
And also your friends, your family, they're seeing things from one worldview.
Exactly.
A therapist, we get trained, but also we see so many different people. We just see a lot of different perspectives. And it doesn't have to be individual therapy. I love group work. Group therapy is a lot cheaper. Group therapy is fantastic. I can do in 6 months. In 6 months of individual therapy, I can do in 10 minutes in a group.
I get it. I see clients one-on-one, and I prefer it. But
Either one works.
That's the way I work.
I don't
want them hearing any other motherfuckers' ideas. Because the thing is, y'all, people are so stupid that the people will in group. People will just talk and talk and talk.
Well, they can, but that's up to a good facilitator. And, and so if you facilitate it well, the power of group is it takes someone literally 6 months to realize either they're not the only person who's done this. This wasn't about them.
Yeah.
It takes so long for, from teaching, especially teaching voice, where in group, somebody else can say, oh, similar thing happened to me, yada, yada, yada. My boyfriend did this, da-da-da-da. And they go, in 5 minutes, they go, oh.
I think that's, though, why we form friend groups and why we have support groups. Like, there's so many Facebook groups out there, you guys, that are like, that you can, where you can do that.
So there's avenues of support. That's all we're saying. Anyway, it was really sad. The producer was like, are you where you want to be? And this kind of was like, this was real fucking Darcey.
And she says, nope, I'm not. I want to set a good example for my daughters.
And she it's
because she's trying to be a good mother, you guys.
She is. And think about Darcey's life. It's all outward.
I'd rather not.
But it's all the glitz, the glam, what things look like, where she's like, I want
nails.
Oh, I want to own my own home. I want to have roots. I want to have daughters that are in good relationships, and I want to show them that.
Yeah.
So Darcey knows that this is not a good situation to be in. Why are you looking across the room like there's a dog in your room?
I'm looking at that light reflecting off our cabaret painting.
Jesus.
Sorry.
Anyway.
There's a dog in your room. It does look like I'm doing that.
Anyway, that broke my heart. That broke my heart
still
when Darcey
circulating.
said that.
Yeah.
Because it's, I think the hardest thing for a parent, when parents often feel the worst, is when for parents that try to be good parents, is when they feel like they're not a good role model for their children.
Yeah.
We go into a shame spiral.
Well,
I
remember
that's hard.
My dad has tried to say, I think a lot of it, he's like, I just wasn't a good role model or an example for you boys sometimes. And I was like, a lot of that with him, sometimes it feels like he's trying to make himself feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Or apologize in a way that makes me say, no, Dad, you were a great dad.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother and I have never been like, we've never said anything for one thing regardless. And it's interesting because my mother's never said I was a terrible mother. She said that to me when I was growing up, but never now.
Never
and my
now.
father looks back because he's got a lot of regrets. Sorry, that just got real.
Well, but I think that's Darcey. I think that's the relatable of this.
Yeah.
I think Darcey got real. So the next day, Stacey and Florian wake up, and they're packing.
In their very white hotel room.
And so she's like talking to Florian, and this was kind of already a red flag for me when they're talking about Stacey is talking about Darcey. She's like, I don't know, it just didn't go well. It didn't feel like it went well. And then Florian kind of says,
You go to me, Tom. What's the deal?
Yeah.
No stress. You not have stress.
And then Darcey says to that, she's like, that's why I love
Stacey.
you. Or Stacey says, that's why I love you. You're my voice of reason. No, that's your
Florian's
voice of avoidance.
If Florian's your voice of reason, you got a problem.
Yes, somebody who just says, don't worry about it, y'all, that's not a voice of reason. So when he said that already, I was like, he doesn't want to deal with shit.
He does say, I fixed the things.
Yeah.
So they're off to Connecticut in matching camo.
Driving down the highway in your rain away. And his backseat driving, don't want to turn back. Don't fix that windshield, I don't want to turn back.
So he's kind of a nightmare in the car. And she's like, Are you happy? Are you happy, Florian? He's like, oh, I am so happy. But there's no affect at all.
Again, even the producer says, is this you when you're excited? And he says,
yay, see the user.
And he doesn't make any facial expression at all.
And Stacey's like, so, this reminds me of like when we were in Albania and we went to Greece. Want a honeymoon in Greece? Crickets. the desert sounds. So, what do you think? And he's like, I want it to feel natural.
Yeah, it's 5 years in, buddy.
Yeah. So he's gonna stay.
That is when he says, I am excited.
You have to lift your saw palette
I don't think
up.
I can do it because
It's a
you literally convulse.
It's a cartoon voice.
You literally go, hey! It looks like Jake's, when he does the voice, it looks like he's taking a huge fucking 20-inch stick and going, hey, I'm excited. And he kind of convulses.
You envy it.
Anyway.
So they're at the Airbnb, which looks like a nail salon. I'm confused. Is Florian going to have to earn his keep by doing nails or pedicures?
Know. And he even's like, it's excited. There's a nail salon at there. I'm like, why are you excited?
It's weird. It's all
weird.
strange.
They're staying there.
Then something happens, and they're trying to fix the back wiper, and Florian starts screaming, no touch, nothing, turn little, no, nothing. It was like weird Florian like exorcism.
And he was
screaming
at her.
Yeah.
And the look on his face was scary. He was going and yelling at her. And then he says, I'm just hot-tempered. Y'all, if someone is hot-tempered, but they don't show any other emotion,
that's scary.
That's scary.
If their one emotion
that is not good.
Fury.
And a lot of men get that. That is not good.
We've said that before, that for a lot of straight men, the only acceptable emotion is anger. And that's not good. I agree.
Gay men have anger and then shame. We added that, just 2 to that.
I also have extreme derision, where I'm staring at you and and I also have shade. That's a little bit of an emotion, and utter shock, clutch pearls.
It's true.
There's not a lot of other sadness that I'm not going to get a dick. That's it's very Jane Austen.
Yeah. Anyway, it was just that. What really got me is like, he was like, no, about something else, and he's like, you dumb. So he's calling her dumb.
Yeah, that was rough.
Y'all,
are you dumb?
If someone can call you dumb, stupid, idiot, they can call you that one time in a relationship, and if they call you that a second time,
it's a pattern.
Leave. And it's really leave.
Don't. Yeah, dumb and stupid.
Unless they immediately decide to go to therapy with you together, but that's not good.
I guarantee you, he's replaying some kind of event of his past. If you guys are saying dumb, like I was never screamed at by my parents that are used. Actually, that's not true. My mom would say, sometimes I just think there's something wrong with you, that you would blah blah blah.
That was helpful.
But that's what I remember hearing, and I've had to like work through not to say that to people, because that's the first thing that when you're angry, that's what you reach for, because that's the pattern.
You know,
well, that was sad.
The only time I remember my dad really yelling at us was about ice trays.
Wow.
Isn't that funny?
And you screamed. He screamed at me and another roommate we had about ice trays because one of us left an ice tray. I think what it was, we left it
Empty.
and
there was no
in
ice.
the freezer.
And it was hot. Y'all, it was
He
hot.
freaked the fuck out, y'all. It was scary.
It was not good. I apologize. It was not good.
Well, I think the weirdest thing is your anger, you store it up. And for me, I let whatever fly.
I mean,
That's
you,
kinda,
you fuck angry.
I know. It's kind of how I was taught to.
Stop talking! Cover your mouth!
It's how I was taught to kind of behave is to get stuff out, and then you apologize or everything's fine after you get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when you hold it up, and it's scary when it comes out.
It's very rare, but it is scary.
Yeah.
My dad is kind of like that too. So, but it was, my brother was playing video games at like 11:30 at midnight, and my dad was in bed, and then my parents slept with their door open, and my brother, we had reached in to get the ice trays, but he literally was just, my brother was especially a selfish kid. He wouldn't think of, he would just slam the ice trays down in the cup. And I mean, he slammed those, and it was like out of the dark. We hear my dad,
God damn it, you got the fucking ashtray slamming it down like a goddamn damn!
I don't know why that meant like damn.
He's like, what the fuck? You think there's a drum here?
I mean, and Brian, like, he just scared my dad. And so my brother fell on the floor and cowered because he came out of the dark because he didn't see him. We laugh about it now.
Isn't it amazing what things are traumatic later?
Yeah.
I can remember like certain traumatic things. The weirdest thing, I was talking to a student about this. The most traumatic things I can remember are things with another adult that weren't my parents. When another adult...
Is this going to go into a confession?
No.
Okay.
But like another adult, like you told the story about a teacher humiliating you.
Oh, yeah.
Those I can still feel. I can still feel those like scary humiliations from another adult.
It really is more, and maybe that's kudos to our parents because my parent, like, I wouldn't say it's traumatic. Like helping my dad pack his truck when he left my mom and seeing him cry.
Oh my God.
That was hard, but it wasn't like...
You shouldn't have been allowed anywhere near that.
But that was sad, but it also wasn't... I was 14 years old. I understood what was happening. It was... Because for me, traumatic things were like that Bill George teacher experience. I didn't understand what was happening.
Yeah.
And I didn't know why it was happening.
Because you kind of respect adults enough. You respect them not to make mistakes kids make.
It's like I had an elementary principal who I was walking my lunch tray to put it up, and I just was holding my tray, and I took one last bite of chicken nugget, and she came, and she forcibly grabbed me and pulled me over and threw me and sat me down on the lunch tray. She was like, "We don't eat standing up. We get up only when we're finished eating. Now sit there and finish your food before you get up." And that was so traumatic because my mom and my dad would never talk to me like
Isn't that weird? Because
what's her name? I don't remember. I'd say
we
see what Darcey and Stacey brought up with us. We're talking about. I just want to say, this is a fucking reality show of Darcey and Stacey. This is probably the first time we've gone off about deep trauma, and I just want to say Darcey elicited this from us.
Yeah.
Darcey, you're my therapist.
I could talk about trauma with anybody. So
actually, usually when they're inside, you're like, so who hit you?
Can I tell you about the time I was molested in the bathroom?
Jesus.
So anyway, Darcey is basically saying my main focus is my girls, and they're going to dance class, you guys. And Darcey is like counting. She's on her phone filming.
She can't not make it about her, bless her.
And they're like, "Stop, Mom." She's like, "Sorry, act like a dance mom." It's so off. She's like, and she tells the other moms, "I miss dancing. I was quite a dancer when I was young."
Darcey does love the TikTok, and she just looks like...
She looks terrible.
She looks like embarrassing mom.
Yeah.
Like, and it's weird because the way she moves and the way she talks, and she looks like fucking, a model with the hair. But on the inside, she just reminds me of that excited lady from Target with a fanny pack. Like that's Darcey on the inside.
Target lady.
I'm so excited. I kind of combine two characters, but those characters are kind of the same.
Where'd you get this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, anyway.
Thank God Aspen and Aniko are kind of like, they're the most adult people on the show, except for maybe Mike.
So, she gets a text from Georgi, and she's decided to postpone meeting with him, and she's going to therapy.
She is going to therapy.
Big deal. And when she's, she does say this when she's watching the girls, like, oh, got chills there for a minute.
Yeah, we saw the dance moves. I don't know if it was like...
I don't know if you got chills from them doing like a kind of a mediocre dance to wet ass pussy.
Yeah, this isn't Alvin Ailey.
No. So
She did say that. I got chills. I got chills.
So they're going to family.
Didn't know that when I was in dance class.
Yeah, she's like, didn't know that one.
Didn't know that one.
She's doing a lot of handography at the time.
Popping it like it's hot. Didn't know it was warm in here.
That's Darcey. She takes that expression and then just changes it. Oh,
Okay.
Oh, what's happening?
Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy. Didn't bring my bugle. Whoa.
Comedy B.
yeah, maybe.
I learned A company. Obviously, this is B company. So they're meeting Florian because the parents haven't met him.
No,
and so he comes in. He knows right because he's like all over Darcey and Stacey's mom.
I just want to say before he comes in, how fucking normal is this just family dinner? It was so normal.
Yeah.
With Mike there and the girls and the mom, and they were just kind of chit-chatting, and he was like cutting up with the grand. I was just like,
it's so normal.
It's so, and seeing Darcey in such a normal life.
I think it's that and this is kind of the way, I think Darcey, because they had a reality pilot, I think they wanted to be reality stars for so long.
Oh, yeah.
That they barely know what it's like to act normal anymore.
But this show makes me love Darcey more.
Oh, yeah. You root for her.
Like, and Stacey too, actually. I'll be interested to see how the show, I don't know. I hope it doesn't, I hope they don't ever pit it against one another.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think the producers want to do that.
Because that's what Grandma Hazel did to Aunt Peggy and Aunt
I
Darla.
know, we've heard
and
that.
it didn't end well, y'all.
They don't speak.
They don't speak.
How far in age are they? Like 5 years, maybe?
No. Aunt Peggy's the oldest girl, second oldest, and Darla is the youngest. So
10 years?
Darla, or my dad says Darlis. I don't know why he calls her Darlis. Darlis is, Aunt Peggy, I think, is 75, and I think Darla is, I think probably she's like 65.
Yeah,
66.
10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah.
Darla.
God,
that's a country name.
it is.
So
Darla Jean.
Of course, it's Jean.
Hazel Jean, Peggy Jean, Darla Jean.
Really?
Well, yeah.
Are any of the other girls named Darla Jean?
There's no other girls.
Oh, it's all boys.
Yeah.
The boys were named a middle name? It was all the same?
They're different, I think.
Oh, wow. Isn't that
think
interesting?
Yeah. I don't know. Uncle Leonard. I don't know.
You know what? I'm sorry I asked. Let's move on. I don't know. I should know better. I honestly should know better. So
they're at dinner. Florian, go back to where Florian walks in. Again, y'all, it's like he kind of smiles, but he doesn't even really smile. And as Mike is talking to Florian, this is what concerns me about Florian. It's like he's sitting there, and if y'all notice, he kind of leans down and leans over, and he's always looking down.
Yeah,
he doesn't look at you. There's something happened on the way to heaven.
I'm not defending him, but I'm just trying to put myself in a place of someone who is always translating and trying
I
to
agree.
and trying
I try to think about that too.
and trying to impress at the same time.
If he didn't have that anger and called her stupid, I would say
agree.
that's it.
I agree.
I don't know. I'm nervous.
And I think, it's really hard for me to diagnose someone who's on a reality show when I'm seeing an edit.
I'm fine with it.
What do you mean? I think I've done it all the time before.
Have we ever talked about Florian's dick? I just realized that.
It's average at best. Although Albania is from the Dick Riviera. They're doing quite well over there.
Come, let's play on the Dick Riviera. Listen to it sway. It's a big Dick Riviera. We've got uncut
here we go.
and cut. We've got girthy, and
Then,
I gotta stop.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you had the.
It's a dick. It's a dick. It's a dick.
It is like
the
11.
Dick Riviera.
What is that from?
I just made it up. But I wanted it to sound like a 70s lefty
It
song.
did. It kind of sounded like Copacabana. I was kind of into it.
I was thinking Copacabana and actually Love Boat.
Yeah, I'm into it.
We'll put that on the musical episode.
No, we won't. So Florian is saying good lines like you can die for your family, you can kill for your family, and the parents are like, "Yeah, I like what I'm saying."
Well, I think Mike's might have killed. There's something kind of dangerous about Mike,
like
which is why it's hot to me.
Mike might have been in the CIA and have murdered several people.
I'm kind of into it, and some sissies agree with me. Maybe it's because he has such full lips, but there's something attractive about
he
him.
could break me, and I'd be okay with it.
That took you a while to come on board.
It did. I wasn't into him.
Y'all, Poodle's quarantining.
Florian does say, "I love to talk to old people."
And Stacey kind of, I'm like, is that the way you talk about your father? Whatever.
Well, no, he was in confession.
Yeah, that's true.
So, basically, what is this? Mike is gonna box with Florian. He's gonna teach Florian
That's
to
better
box.
because something traumatic happened to Florian when he played soccer.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
I play soccer.
Now that's a different side of Florian. And I like that.
He does though. He's always like the.
And Darcy's sitting over there going, just sighing and all of it.
Hey.
And so she's like, "Yep, gonna get a soda. Stace, wanna come with me?" It's so obvious they need to talk about their problems.
It is so obvious they need to talk about their problems.
So then she basically tells Stacey that, and she's like, "So everything good? Oh, everything fine." So everything's great.
fine.
She's like, and I was wondering, why is the bar they're in so loud?
Is this a Charleston's? It looks like a Charleston's restaurant to me.
I think it's a nice
Or
restaurant.
a Houston's.
I think it's a nice restaurant in Connecticut.
Okay.
I doubt it's a Charleston's or a Houston's.
Come at us. We have some sissies that live in Middleton. Come at us and let us know.
You probably know where it is. So
I've got the Dick Riviera stuck in my head.
the Dick Riviera. So Darcy tells Stacey that she's gonna go to therapy. She's like, "So when are you gonna come with me?" And she's like, "Well, I've got a lot going on right now."
Well, let's preface this for those of you who don't watch. Literally, Stacey told Darcy about Tom. Then, like the next day, she decided to go to therapy and asked Stacey to go with her, and Stacey said yes. And then the next day after that,
Stacey's
Darcy
too
booked
busy.
the appointment, and Stacey's too busy.
Well, honestly, good for Darcy for following up. And what did she say? I love
woman
it.
of action.
Oh, I take action.
Take action. Yeah.
Y'all, they will.
In fact,
On their.
let's do a very short, abbreviated. Y'all, this is what we call 90 Days Theater.
Good. That's it.
Okay.
And it doesn't cadence in the tonic. You're wrong.
I'll be playing the role of Darcy. Poodle will be playing the role of Stacey.
I'd like to say of the Coke machine behind her.
Yeah.
Just for once. All right, so
And scene. Chinkle, chinkle, chinkle of ice in my Coke swirling
loud
around.
people. Raw, watermelon. What about it?
So, going to therapy tomorrow.
Oh, that's great.
It's gonna be good.
So glad that's going to be so helpful for you.
But, I just thought I'd take your advice, and, it was a little hard to hear.
You need it.
But sometimes, you got to get slammed down to get picked back up.
Yep. Got it. You love love, and it's time to get work. Time to get fixed up.
Yep, so,
You need a tune-up.
yep. That's a little too
Need to
much.
get fixed.
Okay, we got it. So,
Gonna
you
take
gonna
the
go
whole
with
team.
me tomorrow? You want to go, 3 o'clock after Days of Our Lives?
I can't. Gotta spend as much time with Florian as I can. Can't let him go because he likes to run feral in the fields.
You said you would go with me.
I'm sorry. I've got 90 days, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have to protect Florian from random hordes of vampires.
That's fair. Okay, fine, but I'm a woman of action. I'm going tomorrow, and I'm not going to talk about you at all.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
And scene.
I enjoyed that.
She did basically say, "I'm going to enjoy therapy," and at the end, she's like,
Enjoy your fiance.
"That was my
You did that.
favorite line of the
the
whole."
So just go and enjoy your fiance.
Talk to your fiance.
Like she's gonna go and saying, "I'm so happy I have my fiance here. I'm enjoying my fiance." Do you want more water?
No, I just totally missed my face.
You did.
Sometimes that happens.
My voice is completely shattered from doing.
We need somebody else
From
to.
I was doing
you
that
wanna,
girl.
You want to grab hers?
I was doing that girl Heather from Love After Lockup, who
Oh,
was bethed
boy.
out.
Y'all.
I've got Grethers here. Grethers. Old man Grethier. I've got one.
Okay, I got one too. Y'all, we have to immediately pop in voice stuff after we do Darcey and Stacey.
So
The Dick Riviera, come get that foreskin. It's there waiting for you to come on your face. It's Dick. Take it, Poodle.
Dick Riviera, we're waiting for you.
Hacha.
It does it with hot shot.
We're going to put that on the musical number.
Off the coast of Albania, passing Serbia and other former Soviet socialist republics. We may not have bread, but we've got a lot of dick. That's not fair. Former Soviet socialist republics do have bread now, unless you're Belarus, and then you're having lots of problems
Not
With
a lot
your-
of cheese.
with your basically your your president who installed himself as a monarch, and now then there's unrest in the country, and people are taking back their motherfucking country. Vive la différence! And Putin is saying, maybe be careful, Belarus, and they're like, fuck you.
They're like, fuck you. Fuck Putin.
Y'all read about what's going on in Belarus and about how Putin tried to poison the guy who's running against him.
Oh, yeah.
That's real. We're getting deluged with political news right now. So, do yourself a favor and do a little Reuters. Do a little Reuters
BBC?
or BBC World News.
You get a worldview. I like that one.
We get a lot of worldview. So anyway, you guys, Mike is taking Florian out to a trail, which looks like he's going to put a bullet in his brain.
I've seen a movie that went another way with this.
Okay.
With two men going out to the woods.
Uh-huh.
I think it literally was called Oklahoma, and it ended up a guy getting bent over a tree, getting fucked while he bit his teeth on some bark.
Oklahoma. That was the name of the movie. Was
Oklahoma. Oklahoma.
Wow.
I'm just saying. I saw a different movie.
But that was a really low-brow joke.
No, that actually happened. Literally,
What?
the guy's biting on the bark while he's getting fucked.
Wow. Is this some short film you saw, or maybe in a porno theater?
I don't even know where it came from, but I remember seeing it.
Oh, so basically, we don't want to go through this a lot, but
He basically asks about the pictures.
Florian
That's
thinks that Mikey's funny,
it. Yeah.
even though Mike is like, what's his name, Robert De Niro from Meet the Parents.
He is. He's
and is like trying to kill him.
He literally's like, so the photograph. What the fuck is that about? Real or not? What the fuck?
He is like that. I don't know.
Nothing there? Take your word for it.
So he does
Carmine,
believe him.
you're fine. Go home.
He does. Carmine's
That's
ready.
the Goonie in the back who we never see, but is there to kill anyone Mike wants killed.
Carmine is ready with a silencer.
Yep.
Yep. I think that's that for them. It was a very short scene.
That was for them. Now,
Can we talk about Darcey at the therapist
yes,
and her therapist Monica?
Monica, dance the waltz. Monica, dance the waltz. That brought you to life.
You have
The most beautiful voice in the world. That brought you to life.
It did. Y'all, that is a song from the opera The Medium where a girl dances with a deaf mute and makes up things that the deaf mute should say to her that flatters her. And the end line says, Toby, you have the most beautiful voice in the world. We've heard that song a lot.
Sorry.
Yeah. Monica, dance the
So
waltz.
So I just want to preface and say, again, if you've never been to therapy, this is not like real therapy. This is
This is TV therapy.
However, it is much better TV therapy than fucking cheese sticks therapy.
It's the best we've seen, I would
It almost
say.
makes me wonder if this woman, this is either a real therapist who's seen Darcey several times, or the producer who just knows her shit.
I feel
What
like
if it's just a producer who knows her?
maybe. I feel like this woman is asking the right questions.
She asked totally the right questions.
Yeah.
Like,
Best TV therapist we've seen. Definitely better than cheese sticks.
some women were watching this and felt seen. I know.
Yeah.
Come at us if you saw this therapy session and you went, "Oh fuck, this is
This
too
is
real
me.
for me. I'm relating to Darcey. What the fuck is happening to me?" Come
Yeah.
at us in the Sissy Squad. We'll support you.
So she basically, Monica says, "What issues you're having? You know, how long?" And I wrote, she said, "What issues you're having?" I'm like, "How long you got?"
How long you got?
And so Darcey starts talking about red flags, and she gives her heart.
Well, and this is what I love about Monica, and this is what I try to do. A lot of times when people come they come into therapy with these descriptors that are
Yep.
these Instagram memes or general things.
Yep.
And that's all what you're doing in therapy. It's like, well, what do you mean when you say red
Right.
flags? What do you mean? And we're always, a lot of times people think, well, therapists are just asking like, can you explain more? Can you explain
Yeah,
more?
You have to spend a lot of time defining your terms.
But the problem is that people skip over the specifics in their life.
Yeah.
And a queen that I know sitting beside me who just sang a song about dicks in the Riviera has said to me, specifics are everything.
Everything.
And I agree with that as well.
And to get them, because it's not necessarily important about how they feel, but how they feel about what they're saying, or how they feel about something in their life, or instead of what happened. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think she's having a hard time expressing how she felt about Tom, but she can say things like "it hurt," but not like specific things that hurt because
or what he specifically
Right.
did that hurt her. That's not just like a
Right.
Because if you look, it made me think. When Darcey, she's like, they're playing games. It's always this general stuff
Right.
of not whatever it is.
I think what was interesting is she did venture this. Jesse had wanted a boy.
This made you gasp.
Yeah, and
Poodle clutched his pearls.
I don't think we ever heard that.
No.
But she said that they talked about IVF and that was a big deal. And then the therapist countered and said, "When's the last time you felt safe?" And it looked like
That's when
Darcey had been slapped in the face.
Yes. That's when Poodle had to hold me, and I just sobbed into his chest. Never.
And she's like, "Well, it's honest, Tom. But because Tom was a friendship first.
It was it was.
But it was a fake friendship because Tom is a terrible person. Sorry,
But-
Tom, if you're listening.
There is also, though, it makes me think, like, how does Darcey show up in a friendship versus how does she show up when we put the term relationship or sexual interest on it? Does she change?
I think she's always putting relationship sexual interest on it if it's a man.
I would be interested more to talk about the whole Tom thing to see if that was her intention from the first or was it not.
Right. And I think he reached out to her because he was interested in fame, but they became friends.
Yes, I think so too.
And but I don't think Tom was ever really interested in being in a relationship with Darcey.
And that's where the therapist kind of goes into like,
oh, this was genius.
First of all, she was talking about simple things like, did you tell him what you want?
She's like,
what are your
do you mean?
expectations? And she's like, what? What do you mean? I want love. I want love. I want love.
She's like, no. Tell him like, I want you to hold my hand. I want you to do this. She's like, you could see her going.
But this is
her head was just spinning.
This is a big deal because people get in relationships and they do say, well, I just want him to love me. No,
it's not good enough.
We define love differently. So you need someone to say, to someone, hey, look, I feel love when you hold my hand in public. When you don't hold my hand in public, it makes me feel unloved. I feel love when you lick my vagina and tell me I'm beautiful.
Right.
Like whatever it is. And a lot of people think
I will not lick your vagina.
That's
just
great.
So we're clear.
Okay, good. But a lot of people, this is a lot of fights that happen. And this happens to men and women. Is they think, well, they should just know what my version of love is. No, you have to tell them. People are not mind readers.
And I think you need to say, I feel love when we watch an old movie together and don't talk.
Yes.
Or
Whereas Darcey would think, we didn't talk the whole movie. It's about honoring the other person's definition and trying to, like, honor both definitions of what things are.
Yep.
It's going to be a long road for her. I hope she doesn't. I'm a little concerned because she's like, I went to therapy. Now I'm meeting a guy next week. I'm like, honey, you need like a couple of
pump
years.
the brakes.
Yeah.
She needs a team.
But then the therapist also really went in, and she's like, I bet you, do you say this to your voice students? This is when they cry when you say thing. Who told you that you don't deserve things?
Yes. I say all the time. Usually it's sometimes has something to do with vocal work. I'll say, I think someone once told you that this is blah, blah, blah. Is that right? And I'll say, I'll say things like, you need to throw that away. Because that's not helpful to you right now.
That's when the tears come.
Yes. And in general, I'll say, even in coaching clients, I will say things like, I feel like someone once told you this. Sometimes you have to put words in their mouth. That's what I realize.
Oh, yeah.
I that's part of doing this kind of work, you guys, because some people just don't have the vocabulary. They can't say it. That's why this woman is literally dragging Darcey across the finish line.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, I'm imagining it feels like this for you. Is that right? Is that wrong? Let me know.
Mm-hmm.
And this is which we've talked about this before. Not saying we called it, but we called it. Because we've talked about earlier, like, what has this been like for Darcey if her dad has been out of her
relationship
life?
with her dad.
In China, most of his life, how has that affected her? Because the therapist...
And guess what? Monica's right on it.
And new information we learned, Michael wasn't only the only brother, Michael was basically
He was
father
basically the
figure.
dad. He loved love.
He loved love. I will be your father figure.
no.
I have had enough for time. You know that George Michael song, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That was a big hit. So she starts crying, and I like my favorite line
Michael
of this
passed away of cancer, if you didn't watch.
is when Darcey's like,
27.
it's okay. And the therapist said, no, it's not okay.
It's not okay.
Oh. Y'all, Darcey has been needing to hear that her whole life.
She has been, that was me when my parents got divorced. I was like, people say, how are you? I'm like, I'm good. It's all good. It's all good.
Yep.
And it really took a lot for me to, and that was my cover to like just keep going. I was trying to go through school. I was going through a lot. I was starting to figure out I was a big homo and all this shit. And it wasn't until my late 20s where I went, oh, it's okay to no, I'm not good.
Right.
This is not good. And to be okay with that and say it.
And the therapist, you guys, saved up her last little, RBI. She's been for the end. She says, and this is kind of what I do. Not that you want to give pronouncements at the very end, but you want to give them some kind of assessment.
You do.
And
this was a little reality show here.
And she said, you've been accustomed to a distance love. And boy, that nails it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happened.
When she said that, I went, oh, that's so true.
Especially
It's
distance, because she's
father,
used to meeting people who long-distance relationships.
And if y'all go through a death of a loved one, even if you don't know it consciously, a lot of times when one of our loved ones dies, it inhibits our ability to trust to love again because it's that
You're
whole...
frozen.
You're frozen.
When your heart's not open.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting.
Ooh, if I could melt your heart.
Boy, we're singing tonight. That's all right.
I'm just trying to keep up. You won't shut the fuck up.
You know what? Uh-oh. Don't pull over.
Don't pull over.
Don't pull over, y'all. So anyway, I hope she keeps seeing this therapist because
Me
Monica, and I hope Monica, if you're listening.
Don't pull over, y'all.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. I hope, Monica, that Darcey's paying you well.
Yeah, because you need battle pay.
But it all clicked. I mean, we kind of knew it, but we got the information.
Yeah, I agree.
The makeup, the boobs, the fillers, the hair. If the outside looks beautiful, then no one knows this is broken inside.
Right. Exactly.
And that is Darcey. And I bet you now that we know this about Darcey, this Stacey being, like you said, badass, I expect her to hit him in the face.
Right.
And all, that's an act too.
Uh-huh. I agree. So the next thing is we're at dinner.
God, a lot happened
with Debbie and Raina.
Hey,
the drunk twins.
Florian,
Florian,
I want you to tell me.
I'm Raina, and
What's
I
it
need
like
to
to
tell
have
you.
no fat anymore in your. Do you mind giving it to Darcey?
I like the hiccup. I like Florian's coat. It's got epaulets on it, and I'm a sucker for an epaulette.
Oh, God, focus.
How dare you tell me to focus?
So basically, they're like, Florian, what do you think about them pictures? They're like, what were you thinking? We need to know.
And basically...
Does not go well, y'all.
He's like, as long as Florian does not have any more pictures on his phone. And Stacey's like, uh-oh. She's like, don't ask Florian questions. It's like the Wizard of Oz. You can't ask him any questions.
And this is what freaked me out. Florian is so angry. He is vibrating. He's literally tapping his glass on the table.
Well, that means women be quiet. Women don't speak. Shh. He tells them to shush.
Is that Albanian culture? Are they not?
I'm sure it's patriarchal.
I'm sure it's. I was being facetious. Come at us, Albanian sissies. But Stacey, this is where Stacey says, I choose to believe him, and she tries to calm them. And I have to say, Raina and Debbie really weren't coming at him aggressively.
Not really.
It wasn't the right place. It's a reality show, so that's why they're asking, but it wasn't the right place to.
Basically, they were calling him they were calling him a liar.
They were calling him a liar. And this isn't the best. Not to defend Florian, but I'm like,
3 against 1.
This is the first meeting you meet someone.
Yep.
Maybe, again, this is a reality show, but don't bring up. That's something like after the second or third meeting, maybe when it's more casual, not at dinner.
It's a reality show, though, so they had to.
It was not appropriate.
But he freaks out, you guys, and
you freaked out when he went shh to them.
Yeah, that boy.
You guys, this guy's controlling.
Y'all, don't say shh to Raina.
Why did he say shh?
He shushed me.
Is he saying, oh, waiter, he said Chardonnay. I think I need some more Chardonnay, waiter.
I love that Raina.
This lipstick still looks great.
Raina hiccups.
I got a tattoo on my lips. Don't look at me like that. Your husband's fat, lady. He's fat. Does somebody smell popcorn?
Can we go at Taco Bell?
Oh, I think I just found somebody I love. Hello,
Raina?
Raina. Anyway, he starts cussing them, and he just gets up
He
and
leaves. Yeah, it's not going to go well. Goes out to smoke.
Y'all,
That's
I
the
swear,
show.
We're not going to get this fucking deep in Darcey and goddamn Stacey.
It was dark.
But it went dark.
This episode took a lot out of me.
We need
actually.
like Darcey ice skating or some shit next episode.
Yeah, because this will be our, besides Happily Ever After, this will be our new episode
Yes. So, y'all, I forgot, this is on the regular feed.
that we're going to do it at the very end.
So, if you're listening, this is what's kind of going on is, so this is the mid-series finale, mid-winter finale, no.
Mid-season finale.
Mid-season finale of
The Other Way.
The Other Way. So anyway, so that's going to be, so that'll be going away for a bit. So don't think next week we don't have The Other Way
I think
podcast.
it's gone for like 5 or 6 weeks.
It's going, yeah, they're going to be, are they putting something in place of it?
I don't think so. I think they're rerunning Darcey and Stacey for this first week. That's what I saw.
Yeah. So they're gonna do that. So, but don't worry, we'll still be doing Darcey and Stacey, and we'll still be doing Happily Ever After.
Hi.
We will not be doing Clapback,
Unless we're on it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Who
knows?
Keep watching. We'll let you know. But anyway,
No comment.
We mentioned this if you haven't listened yet. We mentioned if you're a Gatreon, our Lalu is taking a break as well next week. So listen to that Gatreon episode of Lalu and find out all about the Gatreon poll.
We're doing a poll.
And what you want us to do for the next month, because we're giving you a chance to help create the content.
Make your voice heard. Like voting in November, which you need to make sure you fucking do.
Do it, y'all. The mail is
civic
fine.
duty.
You can vote from the mail. Whatever
Vote early.
You want. I think I'm gonna drop it at a drop box. That's what I'm gonna do. I think. Are you gonna go in? I worry about you getting COVID. You can't die on me. You cannot go to this. You know what?
Can you do a Betty? If we do whatever happened to Baby Jane reaction, you could be Betty Davis, and I'm like on the beach, and you're like, "It's fine, Blanche.
It's fine, Kyron." That's my favorite Betty Davis.
Anyway,
if you die, I'll do the show with Kyle from Cray Cray, and you'll come
Good
back
luck.
from the dead.
And everyone will say it's not as good as when Poodle was on.
But they won't want to say that to me because you're dead. And they'll say, what a Southern story that show was. So
And then-
you can vote. You can mail it in.
And then I will curse you.
You will. Mm-hmm. And on that note,
I'm the kind of
everyone-
bitch who curses, y'all.
Oh,
As a
for
ghost.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, watch the fuck out. I'd haunt the fuck out of you. That's the show.
That is the show, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate y'all and love you so much. You can go to 90daygaze.com to find out all things about us.
And you can follow us on Instagram at 90daygaze.
Oh, yeah, and Twitter at 90daygaze.
Yeah.
We just posted some Lalu memes of us singing Whitney Houston. Be sure to check it out.
That's gold, y'all.
Christina
that Lalu.
knows what she's fucking doing. Or Christine. Yeah, sorry. She knows that.
No, Christina.
Oh, she's the best damn editor, y'all.
She's great.
If you need an editor, come
at her.
Let us know, and we'll hook you up.
Because we're not going to give out her name here because you'll probably want to stalk her because she's pretty.
And as Jackie Wiseman, our fearless Facebook group den mother, says, you'll want to wear her skin. Which that reminds us, come at us in the Sissy Squad. Speaking of this type
we
of
got
talk,
merch too. If you want to wear her skin.
I'm just going to say this real quick because we did kind of talk about deeper stuff. We got such a lovely Facebook comment about Sissy who said that they father is dealing with alcoholism, and they finally were able to
I love this.
talk to their father, get their father to go to a rehabilitation facility, but moreover, they got their mother to go to things like Al-Anon and her family, and really there's a lot of other
the whole
stuff I don't want
family
to
is
say,
healing.
but a lot of healing. And she said a lot of this came from stuff we said on the show, but also things and advice people have given to the Sissy Squad. So I just want to invite any of you, even if you're not on Facebook and if you hate Facebook,
Make up a name.
like Donna Down for Dicks. We have somebody in the group
She's
now.
Donna
who's
Down.
She's Donna Down. And so, y'all, if you related a lot to Darcey,
Just
and
be
some
in
of
our
these
group.
things, and you were like, fuck, this is some of my relationship, I would encourage you to join the Sissy Squad and find some support.
Yep. It's a good group. We have fun in there.
And on that note, y'all, We love ya. We'll see you next week. And I feel like it's appropriate to end this week's show with the Dick Riviera. Swing on that dick. On the Dick Riviera.
That was a good harmony.